Most people do not stay broke because they do not make enough money. They stay broke because every time life starts feeling heavy, confusing, or uncomfortable, they use money to make themselves feel okay again. That is the part nobody wants to say out loud. A lot of people are not actually spending because they need something. They are spending because they feel behind, they feel insecure, they feel like everyone else is moving faster. So they buy things that make them feel powerful for 5 minutes, and then they wonder why their bank account never changes. Let's be honest, some of the worst financial decisions people make have nothing to do with math and everything to do with emotion. This is why somebody can make more money than ever and still feel broke. This is why people keep restarting. This is why some people look rich on the outside and are financially drowning in private. The real issue here is not just money. It is behavior, it is identity. It is what you do when nobody is watching and how you use money to manage how you feel. So in this video, I want to break that down simply, because if you can fix this mindset, you can fix a lot more than your bank account. What's one thing you regret wasting money on? Comment below. Now here is why this matters more than people think. Bad money psychology is expensive because it hides inside normal-looking behavior. It does not always look reckless. Sometimes it looks like rewarding yourself after a long week. Sometimes it looks like upgrading because you are doing better now. Sometimes it looks like buying something because you deserve it. And this is where people get themselves in trouble because the spending feels justified in the moment. It feels harmless. It feels earned. But if I'm being honest, a lot of people are not building a life. They are building a coping mechanism. You see this everywhere now. Emotional spending, lifestyle inflation, social media comparison, validation buying. People trying to calm down stress with shopping, trying to fix insecurity with status, trying to look successful before they are actually stable. And the craziest part is the internet makes this worse. You scroll for 10 minutes and suddenly your life feels too small, your progress feels too slow, and your stuff feels outdated. So you spend, not because it makes sense, because it makes you feel like you are catching up. That is the trap. You do not have a money problem, you have a behavior problem. And until you deal with that, more money usually just gives your bad habits a bigger budget. The first behavior that destroys people financially is insecurity spending. This is one of the biggest ones, especially for young guys. A lot of spending has nothing to do with utility and everything to do with image. People buy clothes they do not need, cars they cannot afford, watches, phones, dinners, trips, all because they want to feel like somebody. They want the world to see progress, even if the progress is fake. They want respect without the boring part of earning real leverage. They want to look sharp, look successful, look different. But underneath that, a lot of the time, what they really want is relief. Relief from feeling average, relief from feeling behind, relief from feeling invisible. And I get it. Nobody wants to feel like the broke guy. Nobody wants to feel like they are losing. But buying visible stuff to cover invisible insecurity is one of the most expensive games you can play. Because now your money is not being used to build your future. It is being used to protect your ego. That is a terrible trade. One guy uses money to look rich this month. Another guy uses money to become rich in 5 years. They might look similar for a minute, but their future will not look the same at all. Here is the simple fix. Before you buy anything visible, ask yourself one question. Would I still want this if nobody ever saw it? If the answer is no, be careful. That does not mean you can never buy nice things. It means you should stop pretending every purchase is practical when a lot of it is emotional. A lot of people are not buying things because they need them. They are buying proof that they matter, proof that they are winning, proof that they are not behind. And that kind of proof is expensive. The second thing that keeps people stuck is emotional spending. This is the one people laugh off, but it quietly destroys progress. You have a bad day, so you order food. You feel stressed, so you browse online. You feel bored, so you buy something random. You feel low, so you tell yourself you deserve a little reward. It sounds small, but this habit adds up fast because it teaches your brain a dangerous pattern. It teaches you that every uncomfortable emotion deserves a purchase, that every bad mood needs a transaction. That money is there to rescue you from feeling like a normal human being. The problem is spending gives quick relief. That is why people do it. It gives dopamine. It gives novelty. It gives that little moment where life feels less heavy. But the relief is temporary and the cost is real. And then a week later, you are more stressed because now you have less money, more guilt, and the same emotional issues. This is what keeps people stuck. They use money to escape pressure, and then the spending creates more pressure, and then they spend again. It becomes a loop. One of the biggest traps here is calling every impulsive purchase self-care. Let's be honest, not everything that feels good is helping you. Some people are not treating themselves. They are sabotaging themselves in a nicer tone. If your spending is emotional, your future will always pay for your present mood. That is the truth. So if I were you, I would build a pause between emotion and action. A simple 24-hour rule for any non-essential purchase, not because you need to become cheap, because you need to stop letting every feeling have access to your wallet. If you still want it tomorrow, fine, think about it. But you need friction. Friction saves people. The third behavior is confusing rich looking with rich being. This one is everywhere. Somebody gets a raise, a better month, a new job, a little momentum, and they instantly upgrade their life. Better apartment, new car payment, more eating out, better clothes, more convenience, more flexing. And now what should have become margin becomes maintenance. What should have become investing becomes lifestyle overhead. This is where people get themselves in trouble because they think progress means public upgrades. They think if income goes up, lifestyle has to go up immediately too. But real wealth usually looks boring at first. That is the part people hate. The guy who is actually getting stronger financially is often not the loudest guy. He is not rushing to show the world he is doing better. He is buying time, he is building cash reserves, he is investing consistently, he is lowering stress, he is creating options. Meanwhile, somebody else is using every pay increase to buy a more expensive version of the same insecurity. There are two types of people when more money comes in. One person says, "What can I upgrade?" The other says, "What can I lock in?" That difference looks small in the moment, but over a few years, it becomes massive. One person feels rich for a weekend, the other becomes financially dangerous. The whole point here is not to look successful. It is to become hard to shake. That is real wealth. So the fix is simple. Every time your income rises, a piece of that increase should automatically go to savings or investing before your lifestyle touches it. If you do not do that, your life will keep getting more expensive without actually getting more secure. The fourth problem is scarcity thinking. And this one is tricky because people misunderstand it. Scarcity does not always look like being cheap. Sometimes it looks like fear. It looks like hesitation. It looks like constantly saying, "I'll start investing later when I know more." It looks like hoarding cash mentally while wasting money physically. It looks like overthinking every smart move, but making dumb purchases without the same level of caution. That is the irony. People will spend fast on comfort, but freeze when it is time to build. The psychology behind this is simple. When you have lived in stress, chaos, or instability for long enough, your brain starts prioritizing immediate safety over long-term growth. So even when you have the ability to do better, part of you still feels like one mistake will ruin everything. And because of that, you delay. You wait. You tell yourself you need more certainty. But wealth is not built by waiting until you feel perfectly safe. It is built by making small, consistent moves while fear is still in the room. This is why some people stay stuck for years. Not because they are dumb, not because they are lazy, because their relationship with money is based on survival, not strategy. They are always thinking short term, always trying to avoid discomfort, always needing to feel in control before they act. But if I'm being honest, you are never going to feel fully ready. And if you keep waiting for that feeling, you will waste years. The fix here is automation. Small automatic transfers into savings or investing every week or every month. Nothing dramatic. Just enough to make progress non-negotiable. Because once a good behavior is automatic, it stops needing constant emotional permission. The fifth behavior is self-sabotage after progress. This one is brutal because a lot of people do not even realize they are doing it. They will be disciplined for 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe even 3 months. They start saving, they start spending less, they feel more in control, and then suddenly they blow money, break the system, go off track, and tell themselves they will restart next month. Why? Because a lot of people are more attached to their old identity than they realize. Chaos feels familiar to them. Instability feels normal. Being behind feels weirdly comfortable because it is what they know. So when life starts getting cleaner, calmer, more disciplined, part of them pulls back. They reward themselves too hard. They loosen and up too much. They celebrate progress by destroying it. And then they say, "I just can't stay consistent." No, the real issue here is that your habits are still loyal to the old version of you. This is why I keep saying you do not just need better tactics, you need a different identity. Because if you still see yourself as impulsive, inconsistent, chaotic, emotionally weak with money, then every good system will eventually get dragged down by that self-image. Your life follows the standard you believe is normal for you. So if I were you, I would stop obsessing over looking disciplined and start proving to yourself that you are a person who follows through. That means tracking behavior, not just balances. Track the streak. Track the number of days you kept promises to yourself. Build evidence. That matters more than one perfect month. Because once you trust yourself, money gets easier. So let's make this practical. If you want to reset your money mindset, do not start by making some fake perfect budget you will ignore in 6 days. Start by telling the truth about your patterns. Go back through the last 30 days of your spending, not just the categories, the emotions. Look at what you bought when you were bored, stressed, insecure, lonely, tired, or trying to impress somebody. That is where the real information is. Your bank statement can tell a story about your habits if you are honest enough to read it. Then separate your spending into 2 buckets. One is actual needs. The other is emotional, identity-based, or convenience spending. And be real with yourself. A lot of people call things needs that are clearly validation purchases. You do not need to be harsh, just accurate, because accuracy gives you power. If you cannot tell the truth about why your money leaves, you cannot control where it goes next. After that, add frickin' Remove saved cards from apps. Use a 24-hour rule for anything unnecessary. Do not shop when you are emotional. Do not browse when you are bored. Make bad behavior slightly more annoying. That matters. People love talking about discipline, but environment matters more than motivation most of the time. If bad decisions are easy, you will keep making them on weak days. So make them harder, then automate the good stuff. Savings, investing, transfers. Whatever your next right step is, automate it. Do not leave your future dependent on how mature you feel this week. That is a losing strategy. Good systems protect you from bad moods. That is the whole point. And finally, tie your money to a bigger identity. Stop thinking like somebody who is trying to look impressive. Start thinking like somebody who values peace, control, freedom, and leverage. That shift matters. Because when your identity changes, your spending changes with it. You stop asking, can I buy this? And start asking, does this fit the life I'm building? That is a much better question. At the end of the day, the most expensive money mindset is thinking money is there to fix what is happening inside you. It is not. Money can solve bills, it can buy options, it can lower pressure, but it cannot build self-respect for you. It cannot make you feel enough if you keep using it to perform. And the longer you use money emotionally, the longer real progress gets delayed. So no, you do not just need more income. You need better behavior. You need more honesty. You need a stronger identity. Because once you stop spending to feel better and start using money to get stronger, everything changes. You become calmer, smarter, harder to manipulate, harder to impress, and that is when your finances actually start moving. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Hit that subscribe button.